We have a great lineup for you today, one of whom is with us on the phone right now from a very, very cold portion of the country up there in Wisconsin. His name is Eddie Hofstrand, and you're in, what is it, South Range, Wisconsin, Eddie?
South Range, that's it.
Now, I see that parts of Wisconsin are under a blizzard watch right now. You must be pretty much stuck where you are at the moment.
Well, we actually got the blizzard the day before yesterday, and yesterday is the backhand side of it.
Yeah. How much snow did you get? How much snow did you get, just out of curiosity?
At my place, I had just a little over a foot. Up by the lake, they had only about 3 inches.
Well, that's for that area. I mean, this time of year it's a little early, but for that area, that's not an unusual snowfall.
No, we get what they call the lake effect snow from Lake Superior as it dumps on us.
Yeah. I used to live on Lake Michigan, and I know on the east side of Lake Michigan, so we were always getting those lake effect snows over there. First of all, you are a flight paramedic in your area. How long have you been doing this?
I've been a flight paramedic for 12 years.
And was this something that you'd always aspired to do, or how did you fall into that job?
Well, I've been a paramedic for the last 33 years.
Oh, my Lord.
Did my time on the ground. Started out as a medic in the U.S. Navy with the Marines, and this was kind of where I wanted to go with my career,
and you've done it.
Very fortunate because I love my job, and even after all this time.
Well, you have what I think some people would consider to be an exciting job, other people would consider to be gruesome, and I'm sure at times it's very, very difficult, if not all the time.
Everything comes at a price in life.
You bet it does. But you have also done something rather unique in this day and age. You have taken the love for one of your favorite pastimes and turned it into a business on its own. So you are a paramedic overnight, right? You work the first shift. Is that what you work?
I do. I rotate through, but I've got things worked around my schedule.
And then after, I guess, an hour or two of shut-eye, you open the doors on Fast Eddy Sports.
That's correct.
Now, is this a retail store, or is this internet only?
This is a predominantly internet-based. There is some local sales, but they are by far minimal in comparison to my retail efforts.
Now, what kind of, I already know the answer to these questions, but I have to ask you for my audience. What kind of bike do you drive?
I have a Triumph America.
You are not only a smart man, but you're handsome as well, just because of that. You know what I mean? That's the same bike I have, of course, and you and I have chatted about it, and I purchased from you. But I was fascinated with the story. How did you decide to get into the internet, I guess you could almost say mail order bike business?
Well, it was actually born out. I mean, I've had a love for motorcycles ever since I was 12 years old, and this particular effort was born out when I got my Triumph America and found that there were minimal resources in terms of buying aftermarket accessories for the bike, and I was involved in some of the online forums, like one you're familiar with, BonnevilleAmerica.com, and
that's how I found you. Yes,
and I found a great community of people in the online world, and I saw a need there, and I thought I had no previous experience in this, and I thought I'd like to be able to meet the needs of some of these people that I've come to know. And it started out simple, and I found out I had this real passion for this, and the best way that I think anybody can approach such a thing is to look towards the needs of their customers and put that as job one, and that was what I chose to do. That customer service was going to be one of my strong points, and I think it's really important, especially in the internet as a marketplace, because people don't get to see you face to face, and they have to. You either develop your reputation, and other people speak about you and have confidence in you, or you give them something solid. So I really believe it's important that you need to do what it takes to win the customer's confidence. And to me, sometimes it even costs me money to make sure that my customers are happy. And
well, you don't want to do that too often, but
no, you got to do your homework, because you've got to do it right the first time, because shipping can set you back really fast.
And you do something unique. You include the shipping, except for overseas and APO orders. You include the shipping in the cost of the product. So there's no surprises there.
Right. I mean, that was one of the things that friends of mine and myself, the frustration you get in, and it's perfectly legitimate. But it's like when you go to shop and you get to the end and you think you know what you've got.
Yeah.
I don't like the surprise of shipping come along. I like to be able to know what I'm doing. So that's why I chose to go that direction.
How long ago did you start Fast Eddy Sports?
It was in the workings in 2004, and I learned marketing through eBay, and I learned how to set prices on things and worked on shipping. And then in 2005, I came up with some very specific ideas that turned out to be a hit, and that was when I realized I enjoyed this. And 2006 is when I officially got a seller's permit for the state of Wisconsin and did the necessary paperwork to follow through.
Well, fascinating stuff. Now, I assume that you don't stock a lot of stuff at your location, that you have a lot of stuff drop shipped to people, because that just seems to make more economic sense.
That's that's exactly correct. I carry just things on hand that I know will move, and it benefits me to have control of shipping.
Sure.
Drop shipping is by far the best way to go. It's faster for the customer, and it gives me some amount of control on shipping. But there are some items that are very specific, where they may charge me $7 to ship it, but if I buy things in quantity and take advantage of free shipping to me, I can then ship it for actual, and it may only cost $3. And there, I have a little bit.
Now, how do you decide on what items you'll list on your website? Do you go on demand? Do you go on what people request the most of, or do you look at it and say, I wouldn't mind having this? And do you try a lot of the products yourself?
The vast majority of the products. I can't try everything, but the majority of products I sell, I either know people that use them and have tried them, or I use them myself. And that way that gets part of the customer service thing, because then I'm able to really get behind it and say to my customers, this is a good product.
Well, let me ask you this now. In the last 3 years, since you officially opened Fast Eddy Sports doors on the web, do you consider yourself a successful business?
Considering I was going to be happy with making $40 a month, I've exceeded my expectations.
Well, you either had low expectations, or you bit off a big chunk, and you're doing well with it.
I've not quite been able to get to the point where I can retire from my night job, but I'm optimistic in the future, and even during the difficult times here.
Yeah.
I've chosen to. I think it's wise for anybody doing business to. Debt is not necessarily a good thing, and it can drive you and in directions you may not want to go. So
absolutely right. Whenever possible, it's great to have a clean balance sheet by either paying cash for everything or keeping your supplies low enough that you're not really hanging out there hoping somebody will come in with a sale so you can make the next payment.
And that's where I think is probably the wisest way to go right now, and especially in today's climate.
Well, you are a true testament to the fact that if you love something and you love it enough, you'll figure out a way to turn it into something that is not only probably personally satisfying, but also profitable. And today, that's an example that I think a lot of people could take. So if you had to give a message to somebody who might be, for example, laid off, or who is downsized or outsourced at the moment, and they've had a passion for whether it's motorcycles, or it might be painting, or it might be Lord knows what advice would you give them in how to start out and be successful, meaning the start out part of it?
I think a mechanic told me years ago, start simple, go big. And I think it applies to most everything in life, and it's too easy to go to the big things and overextend yourself. And I really believe that that's the best way folks can do is to find something that really helps to do something that you really enjoy or having a passion about or a real understanding about it, because it gives you an edge on the things that you're going to sell.
And I take it from talking to you also that it doesn't hurt to ask people who know how to do things for advice.
Absolutely. I have a friend of mine and who's been well established in the business world, and I'm not afraid to take advice, and I'm not afraid to be encouraged to go specific directions. And I think listening to people, and
well, listen, much success in in 2010. I know that you've expanded now. You even sell some stuff for Harleys and other bikes, and that's great. But I wish you very great success in the coming year, and you know that I'll be one of your happy customers going forward as well.
I appreciate that, Dave.
Thanks, Eddie.
Right, thank you.
My pleasure. Eddie Hofstrand is the proprietor of the website FastEddySports.com, and you can find him there. You can also find him, if you are so inclined, at BonnevilleAmerica.com's forum, which, if you are an Triumph America owner, as I am, you will know what that is. But check him out, because I think you will be pleasantly surprised.